Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 5, Episode 17, title Hate is Safer Than Love, air date May 12th, 2008, and the synopsis is:
Dan finds out he is second in line to receive a heart, and the Reverend is first. Peyton gives Mia the details of her next tour, and Lucas tells Peyton he hates her.
Oh, Lucas.
So we have like a flash forward and then the flashback, from 18 hours earlier.
Yeah, not needed, but okay.
So Lucas is fighting with the ref. He slams the ball on the floor.
Did you think
Brooke is in the waiting room? What?
Did you think this was needed?
No, not the flashback, no.
Like, as in, like, showing what it's going to be. It's like,
No, because it's not even the finale or like a two-part finale campaign, so no.
Like, honestly, if they would have done this for the school shooting episode of like empty halls and then 12 hours before, whatever, do you know what I mean? Like, if they would have done something like this, or I don't know if they did, can't remember, but it's like if they would have done something like that where it was like, what happened? I don't think that this one was needed. Like, if it's something, if it's a serious episode like that where it's like, whoa, what went down? That's one thing. But like, to do it on this episode, I'm like, why do I care? Like, I love these people, but I can just watch the episode and in 10 minutes I'll find out some things and piece it all together myself. I'm like, I don't need, it wasn't dramatic. Like, to make it like, oh, we're about to find out the good juicy stuff. I didn't really think it was that juicy.
Yeah, besides for Angie's surgery, they could have made that look
but that was
bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, so you just see Lucas at the game, Brooke in the waiting room at the hospital, and then Nathan when he walks in his mom. So yeah, we didn't need to see that twice either, especially. And then Dan is walking outside reading the paper when he passes clothes over Bros when a water balloon drops down.
The fact.
And then Jamie's walking.
The fact that Dan keeps wandering the same streets as them, like he's right next to the store that he knows the whole group goes to. It's weird. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know this is a small town, but they have a big school, which means they have more than two streets. And Dan doesn't need to be on that part of town. Do you know what I mean? Can't he be on the edge of the other side of town? Like, does he really have to be on the same street as Clothes Over Bros? As the same.
Maybe he figures that.
Yeah.
Maybe he figures that he might see Jamie there when he passes by.
Okay, but nobody is like Nathan and Haley do not want him near Jamie. So why do it? All they're going to do is possibly call the cops on you.
And then we see Jamie walking on the street alone. And then we go back to the 18 hours earlier when Brooke gets that phone call and the doctor is saying her surgery's today, Angie's. And Peyton's actually the one to answer the phone too. So I'm kind of surprised. Brooke must have gave her Peyton permission to, receive info about Angie's medical situation. Because usually they would ask, like, is, so-and-so there, someone that's relevant to the case,
Possibly, yeah. Okay, I'm still stumbling over this 18 hours. What time of day is this?
Well, if it's surgery, I reckon 6 a.m. maybe they got that phone call. If they want her to go in at 8 or maybe to call at 7. Something super early. Because they usually do major surgeries right off the bat in the morning.
Because I'm just like, 18 hours will lead you to what, midnight?
Yeah, probably about, yeah.
Does this episode end at midnight?
It doesn't seem that long, no.
No, that's why I'm like 18 hours. Because he has the part about, I mean, I guess maybe because this is the end where she drops him off, but 18 hours, so guess it ends at.
I mean, Angie's recovery could last that long, but everything else.
But also, it was
be that long,
18
so.
hours from Lucas in the basketball, Jamie wandering. That's what was 18 hours ago, not 18 hours since the episode ended. So this doesn't make sense. I'm just saying. It should have been like 10 hours.
Yeah, 12 hours, yeah.
Yeah, because then it would be like, oh, it's 5 a.m. The game is 5 p.m. Like something, or, 7 a.m. or 6. Like, because that would mean 6 for the game, and then you could see Lucas doing the ball. Like, that would make sense, 12 hours. But 18? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, writers.
Yeah, and then Peyton's been reading Lucas's manuscript because it's open on her bed.
She's now
And then
so obsessed with it.
Right, yeah. So Brooke and Peyton get to the hospital with Angie, and I feel like this is a question for the audience to know, I guess. But Peyton asks, Brooke why the surgery's last minute. So Brooke said it's like a volunteer basis, so it depends if there's an opening in the right medical team. So yeah, and then Peyton asks what she can do for Brooke, and she said she's already doing it. But could she call Lucas for her because he'd become attached to Angie? So that was kind of awkward for Peyton to have to call him. But at least it was for Angie, so that probably would have made him listen. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have cared what she had to say.
What did you say?
Think so? About Peyton calling Lucas to tell him about Angie, like that was kind of awkward for her.
She should have told Millie to do it.
She should have told what?
I mean, she is her assistant, right?
Yeah.
And she knows that Lucas and Peyton are not talking, and this is not going to get the two of them to talk. First of all, would Lucas even pick up the phone if Peyton called?
Yeah, so I said I don't think he would listen if it wasn't for being about.
Yeah,
Angie,
but if he saw on his phone Peyton calling, he probably would not answer.
Right. Yeah.
It would have been like
Peyton could have called maybe Haley to call him.
Yeah, but it would have been like all these other times of like, oh, you see the person calling and you're like, I don't think so. And really it's something urgent. It's like, yeah, then it would have been like, well, why didn't you answer my call? And I've been like, well, because you called. Because then it could have been like, Lucas would have been like, what? Like, I missed it. Why didn't you call me? Like, she did call you, but you didn't want to pick up it. I guess maybe if Brooke would have said, take my phone and call him, because then it would have said Brooke's name and he would have answered. But yeah, coming off of Peyton's phone, then he's not gonna show that.
Right. And then the next scene, Lucas brings Skills coffee. And this was at the guy's apartment, right? Where Skills had his laptop?
I think so.
Because Drama Queen said it was Lucas's house, but because why would Skills bring his laptop just to talk to basically Deb like that? So that wouldn't make sense if it wasn't his own place.
Right. Yeah.
They thought it was weird that Lucas gave Skills coffee like that at his own house. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but yeah.
Well, neither does him with the laptop.
Yeah, because it was in the to-go cup, so. But yeah, because so Skills quickly closes his laptop when Lucas walks in, so obviously he's hiding something that we find out later.
Even if when
we first watch this.
Even if you brought the lab, even if he's at Lucas's, right? And Lucas is making him coffee, it doesn't take that long. So you don't have that much time to be all frisky like these two are doing. You wouldn't do it because he might walk in. So it wouldn't be like, oh my God, I only have a minute. Let me do this. It's like, that's just not enough time. So
yeah,
I wouldn't think he would do it because he's going to come back. So that's weird.
Yeah, so Lucas just wants to go over the game plan again because he's nervous. But, Skills tells them that it's going to work, and if it doesn't, they'll just fire him and, hire a new head coach, basically him. So it's a win-win. But he asks Lucas what else is bothering him, because he has something else, that something else is bothering you, look. And Lucas is just, sad because Lindsay hasn't, contacted him. And he says how, she gave him the house key back and she's studying his book though. But he thinks that she's just avoiding him. And Skills says she's probably busy.
Oh, by the
and
way,
Lucas says he wishes she would call.
I just pulled up that scene of Lucas because I kind of want to make sure we're right. It's a room it's a bedroom, but it's a room we've never seen. So it's not Lucas's bedroom. And the coffee is coffee you would buy at a store.
Yeah, so I said it's takeout, like a cup, stuff like that.
Yeah, so he obviously was just stopping by with the coffee.
Yeah.
So yes, it's definitely a room because it's pretty dark. It's pretty dark in there.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not Lucas's room, and there's like 2 chairs, which Lucas doesn't have. So I just want to not Lucas's room.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, you were right. It's probably Skills because again, we only saw Mouth's room at the apartment. Maybe that's why people might get it confused because it's a bedroom, so they just immediately think it's Lucas's. But no, you have to look at the bedroom because there's a difference. And if obviously it's one we've never seen, it's probably the other character in the show.
Right.
So yeah, it's probably Skills.
Yeah, so he just must have dropped by without obviously telling Skills. That's why he had to close his laptop so fast.
Yeah, he just.
And then. Yeah, so he tells Lucas, what he has a broken heart more than any, bacon, basically, because Millicent's cooking it in the other room. And then Nathan goes to see Jamie, who's still in bed, pretending to sleep. And Jamie asks who's there, so he answers, a dad who's going to leave without him if he doesn't drag his bones out of bed. And, Jamie says he's ready, and he kicks off the blanket.
That was funny.
And we see that he's all dressed for the game. And then, And then Jamie asks Nathan knock joke, with the answer being that there's Raven games tonight, and then he wants to get his cape. So, isn't this like his second cape mention at least? I think they mentioned the cape before, but at this point it starts to become more frequently that he wears it.
I feel like it was, but I don't. It's hard because like we've seen the show.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's kind of.
Yeah, I think
Haley did it. Haley mentioned it before.
Go ahead. Yeah, something. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe I think maybe she mentioned it to Q or something. But I think it's hard because we've seen it, and we've seen it. At least I have more than once. I don't know if you've seen the show more than once. Where it's like I don't know if it's us rewatching it and trying to figure it out, or if it's the fact that we already know the answer.
Right. Yeah, and then Brooke and Angie are waiting in the hospital when the doctor walks up. And, Brooke says that Angie's nervous and she wants him to tell her not to be nervous too. That he's not nervous too. But he says Angie's going to do great, and so is she.
Okay.
So then a nurse gets ready to take her for pre-op.
I will say for like these doctors that do the surgery at no cost, that's pretty remarkable, I just want to say, because there are so many doctors that will only do it if they're getting paid. And obviously, if they're doing like this, it's obviously because of, the family does not have money to pay. So I just feel like that's so nice and rare because, again, there's so many doctors that only do surgeries. Or if you're special for surgery and you don't have the money, you're canceling your surgery. And so, I mean, you even hear all the time how like they had emergency surgery. Now they have this huge hospital bill, and it's like, again, it's not getting, free, even though it was an emergency. So I just want to say for the doctors that do it for free, that's pretty remarkable. I just want to say. Because again, that's just so rare because again, it's going to be a longer surgery. It's time out of their day.
Mm-hmm.
And also you have to think too, that this also involves the hospital not getting paid. And also, because you have to think too, they have to pay, it's not just a surgeon, they have to pay the hospital staff to prep them, everyone in the OR staff. Like there's a lot of people involved in a surgery that it's not just a surgery. Like a lot of people think because they watch Grey's Anatomy where it's like, oh, it's just Meredith or Derek in the OR. It's like, but there's so much that happens beforehand of a surgery that maybe people, if they're not in the medical field, they don't understand that that you have to pay all these people to get to the surgery with the surgeon. It's not just the surgeon walks in. Somebody had to schedule it. Someone had to do all the billing, all the prep work, ordering everything, getting it prepped. It's just a lot more than people think, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And those are obviously people that this hospital has to pay without getting billed for the surgery. Because again, every surgery would have the cost of all the costs to pay everybody, right? They're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
bill you for less so that they can't cover the staff. That'd be stupid. They obviously but they do overcharge, I will say. But yeah, so they obviously at these like when they are doing these surgeries, they have to pay the staff without being charged. So, that's also on the hospital. Do you think that's why?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's why they overcharge every single person in case they need overtime of surgeries or something, or like this emergency where it's like, oh, well, this is how we're going to cover the rest of the staff? Because you just wonder, like,
I don't know.
why does it have to be so much money for somebody to have a baby? Like, have you seen those where people are posting how much their hospital stay was, and they had this charge, but they didn't even use epidural, but it's like, and all of this, and it's like, but did you even use it? Like, if you're not using it, you shouldn't be charged for it. I'm just saying. Like, I've seen people and they're like, well, I didn't really use this, but they say just in case. Well, if I didn't use it, you're saving it for the next person. That's how I feel. But I also feel like the hospital's stay should not be charged that much, especially if you have to room with somebody else. Like if you're in your own room, I feel like it should cost a little bit more than somebody that has to share a room. Because I can tell you in the hospital, when you have to share a room, there's no room. You're sharing the bathroom and everything with somebody else. It's weird. And I don't like it. And so I personally, I feel that every single person deserves their own room, in my opinion. I don't feel that people should have to share a hospital room. Because also, doesn't that violate HIPAA?
I don't know.
Because think about it. If you had surgery or you're sick or whatever, the surgeon is going to come and check on you, right? Or some doctors are going to come and tell you what's going on and what's wrong with you. And so that's violating HIPAA, because if there's somebody in the bed next to you, they're hearing everything your doctor or your nurse is telling you.
Well, usually there's nobody else in the room when they do that. So,
what?
Because they do it right after you get in the room, basically.
What?
Yeah. Unless I was so out of it. Yeah. I think I met the doctor really quick. I don't remember anybody else being in the room, but I was still coming out of the anesthesia, so I don't really remember. I don't remember anybody else being in there.
Well, no, I'm not saying just the IC. I'm saying in a regular room.
Yeah.
Like if you're
I've been in regular rooms.
Yeah, but if you're going to have surgery or whatever, you're with somebody else in the room. So your surgeon or whoever is talking to you, and the person can hear every single thing that's happening. Because when my grandma was in the hospital and I was with her, because, you know, I didn't want her to be alone. And everybody was at work, so I went and stayed all day. And I was sitting there, and the surgeon comes over to talk to the patient next to her, and it's like I can hear every single thing that's happening. And you know, my grandma was awake and everything. Like we were literally just talking, but it's like, okay, it's kind of awkward because like now we're hearing everything that this patient is gonna go through for surgery and all of this, and it's like I feel like that violates HIPAA. Because you know now what's going on. And let's say somebody wants to be dramatic, and what if they tell somebody that the person doesn't want them to know? Like what if the person was like, I don't want you in my room, and then they like go and kick him out, and then the person is like, just so you know, they're having surgery. It's like, what? You know what I mean? Like they could easily violate it because they just heard the doctor say you're having surgery. And they just found out what kind too. So they can be like, you're having heart surgery. Like, I'm just saying, like, this is why I feel that you should be in your own room, because it's also very awkward to have to tell symptoms and everything if there's somebody else next to you. Like if they don't have their TV on, it's like, can we put your TV on just so we can try to drown out this awkwardness? Like, you know, even that, it's like, it would have been so weird to like share a room with somebody. And like, again, the neurologist comes in and tells you this and explains everything. And you're like, hopefully the next person isn't like a creep, like hearing everything, you know, it's like, because you never know who's next door. I'm just saying.
Right.
And you know, that's all I'm saying. And so that's why I just feel personally that everybody should have their own room.
Right.
Like you could very easily make it 2 rooms. You're already making it 1 room with no space. So just make it a small room for 1. But yeah, I always hate it when somebody, like, if you're going to visit them and they have to share a room, it's like, ugh, I don't like it. But yes, I know it probably would cost more money, but I just feel like for like violations of HIPAA and just their privacy and just being in the hospital, like, you know, because we've both been in the hospital, like if you have to share a room, it's so weird. You know, like it's hard to like visit somebody and like have no space because there's someone else that probably has a whole bunch of family and they're stealing chairs and they're in a room. Oh, I've had that where it's like, or the person you're seeing is the second bed. So you have to go past the first bed, which is so weird if you're the first bed. But if the first bed has like a whole bunch of people, then it's like, I'm sorry, I need to get over there. It's so weird. Like and then the curtain really does not go all the way to the wall.
Right.
It stops at the patient. So whoever's visiting you, you can see. Do you know what I mean? So even your visitors, it's weird. I'm just saying they should redo the hospitals. They wouldn't like me saying it, but it's not really privacy. I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah, so Brooke tells Angie, no, nothing's going to happen to her. She promises. You're going to make her look better or be better.
I don't like when Brooke asks him, what's your first name? Like, she's so far in this process. Brooke is being so nosy, like just trying to, like, I don't want to say nosy, but it's like she wants way more information than she deserves to know. Like you know the doctor's last name, right? So why does it matter what his first name is?
I don't know, to make it more personal. If she was angry, it could have sounded like she was trying to get his full name to sue him if something went wrong. I don't know.
But also, wasn't there internet back then?
Yeah.
Couldn't you just look up what his name is and which hospital he's at, and it will say his name? Because you can do that right now. You can look up any doc, and it puts their first name.
Yeah, maybe it depends. I feel like things were scarce back then.
Yeah,
a lot of info.
Now you can get a lot of info on doctors.
Yeah. Yeah, but do you think that they had Brooke tell Angie that nothing was going to happen to her, as if it was like a cliffhanger-ish kind of way, as if maybe something was going to happen to her? They try to make it more suspenseful.
Yeah, because especially because they just showed that she's crying, so it's going to be like, oh, she's not going to make it.
Yeah. And then
which I think is weird, because like you said, it's not really a cliffhanger, because like cliffhangers are for like the next episode or the next season. So the fact that they show this at the beginning, like just for the episode, like that's not a cliffhanger,
right?
Because you're gonna see it pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you gotta wait next week to find out,
right? And then Nathan is jogging with Jamie, riding behind him, attached to his waist on his scooter.
Okay, I will say, this is so cute. I love when Nathan is pulling them, and it's just such a cute scene. Like, I love Nathan and Jamie. They're one of my favorite bonds of the show. And so anytime these two have scenes together, I love, because I just love, I look, obviously we love Jamie, but to watch Nathan be a dad and be a fun dad, not just, one that comes home from work, not like that, but like actually engage and have fun with Jamie is so much fun to watch. And so the scene is so funny because, like, he wants to go up the hill, and Nathan's just like kind of like thinking about it. And Jamie was so cute because he's like, I'm not supposed to lie, right? It's like, well, you don't think I could do it? It was just funny.
Right.
I just love them.
Yeah. And then they do go up the hill, but only halfway. Because, Nathan gets tired.
Yeah, but think about it. Trying to run up the hill is already like at its own like little complicated. Like, it's going to be hard enough to try to run up the hill, but then to have somebody that you're pulling, it's even harder. So, and the fact that he's just coming off of an injury, not even a small injury. He was like paralyzed for like 4 months. So I still don't get how he can have 4 months. He can just run up a hill, or try to, with somebody else that he's dragging. So I'm just saying, I give him props, because realistically, I don't think you could do that.
Yeah, so Jamie has the confidence in Nathan that he can do this again. And, asks if he wants to borrow his cape, and Nathan says he, just might need it. And then, Jamie hands it over, Nathan puts it on. And then, they have fun, and Nathan takes the scooter away from Jamie and makes him chase him to get it back. And then at the hospital, Brooke's really anxious, so she asks Peyton how long it's been the surgery so far. And Peyton says about an hour, just like she asked 30 seconds ago. And Peyton tells Brooke that Angie's going to be fine. And then, Brooke tells Peyton to go.
And then Brooke shows up.
She has a busy day.
Okay, now you can leave. I feel like that was a little rude. Because, like,
right.
Yeah, I felt like that
there.
definitely was a huge push. Like, I don't really need you now. I got Lucas. Like, and I know that's not how she was trying to do it, because obviously she loves Peyton more, but it's like, I just didn't like it because it's like, oh, well, Lucas has been there for me, but it's like, but who's also been taking care of the baby? Let's say Peyton, because she lives there. So I just didn't like that, because it's like Peyton was trying to be a good friend and be there, but she's just like, Lucas is here, you can go. Like, you're busy, you got things to do, but it's like, again, first of all, she owns her own label, so she can show up when she pleases, first of all. Like, if she had to cancel a session with somebody, she would. Because she has the power to do that. And so I didn't like it, because I'm like, I just feel like that was rude. Like, if she wants to stay and be a friend, let her. And but to do it as soon as you see Lucas, like, okay, like, go. It's like, what? It was just weird, awkward. I didn't like it.
And then Brooke kept hanging on to that name too, from the doctor saying she hopes it's not like a name that could be your last name for a first name.
Oh my God.
As if that mattered.
Well,
like if that made him like a good doctor or something.
Well, my whole thing, I'm not gonna lie, I may have laughed at this, given the fact that, first of all, obviously Jamie is named after Haley's last name. Sawyer is going to be named after Peyton.
Baker, her son, one of her sons.
Davis. Yeah, my whole.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, my thing was, it's funny that she says it, because it's right now, it's a dig at Haley for naming her kid Jamie. Secondly, next season, it's going to be a dig at Peyton. And then it's just weird, because the person that's saying it is the person that's going to name her own child after her last name. It's the weirdest thing. So when I saw this, obviously, when you watch it the first time, you don't know the future. But I do now. And I was laughing, because I'm like, Brooke, you're going to name your kid Davis. What are you talking about? Like, this makes no sense in the world. Don't you wish it would have been like coming back full circle of her being like, to somebody being like, I really changed my mind about like last names. Like, maybe when Sawyer was born, like, because it was an emergency surgery, and maybe it could have been like, you naming, because obviously she's with Peyton when she says it, right? So wouldn't it be like a full circle thing of her being with Peyton, and she tells Peyton, like, I really like that you named her your last name, even though a year prior I didn't like that. Just like a full circle of like, you changed me to like last names as first names. I don't know, just like a full circle, because again, this makes no sense, because she's saying it to the person who's going to name her kid the next season. And you do it in a couple seasons from now. It makes no sense.
Right.
Yeah, I just wish that she would have said something next season.
And it's crazy too that Lily is the only kid in the show that actually has a name that doesn't come off of the last name.
And off of another person. Because Lydia is named after Haley's mom.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Right. That one makes a lot more sense than the last
name. But I just find it very weird that Haley has 2 kids and they're both named after her parents. Like, there's so many names in the world, and all you can come up with is your parents' name.
I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing, but
I think it's a little weird. I feel like you might have attachment issues. Especially given her parents are AWOL, and you're going to name your kid after them?
Right. Yeah.
Like, I get people naming their kid after someone that passed or whatever, but it's like, it's weird. Like, there's no other name out there.
Well, my nephew, his middle name is my dad's name, and he was born in 1999, so obviously my dad was still alive. And I was almost going to be named after my grandma. So, yeah, there's a lot of different reasons why people choose names
but two
after their family
kids.
members.
That's one thing for like one kid. But both of them. And I get why she did Lydia, because her mom had just passed. I get that part. But why James?
I don't know. I think that's just lazy writing on the writer's parts when it came to coming up with names for the kids.
Well, and the fact that all Nathan says is Haley James, it kind of is confusing. Because you name your kid James.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, honestly, when I've done, research on my own family, like, history, from ancestors, I'm like, why is it everybody's name there's like 3 names for everybody? It's like, there was no other names to come up with. It's like, why is everybody's names these 3 names? Like, everywhere. It's like, this one's a junior, this one's kid is name. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, there was only a couple names back then. But, I just should have been more creative, I feel like. Also, here's the thing. Like, Sawyer. Okay, let's go Sawyer for a second. Oh, no, actually, let's go with the twins. Okay, let's go with the twins for a second. Because that's more realistic. Okay, so the twins. They're Jude and Davis. Which in my mind, names don't really go together. Usually twin names, they kind of go together. I don't really feel like they go together, but anyway. I think because the one is a last name. But how weird, like, I just feel like that conversation would come up, especially if they were girls, of like, your last name is mom's maiden name. So you must be the favorite. And people may tease the one of like, you're the favorite, or you're mommy's boy because you're named after your mom, where your sibling, your twin, isn't. I mean, I feel like that's what I mean. It's like, so one gets your last name and one gets a random name. It's not like it was like, we're naming him Jude because of the reason. They never gave us a reason. It was just, these are the kids' names. And it would be like the same thing if Lucas and Peyton had another. So you name her Sawyer. But what's the second one going to be? A random name? You know what I mean? Like, so then Sawyer would be the favorite because, well, there's a meaning to the last name. Or to the name. It's weird. It's like, that's what I mean. I mean, I guess if Lucas and Peyton would have had like another girl, they could have named her Ellie because that is cute. Which would have had a meaning, obviously. But I can't really.
Or Anna.
Yeah, to like understand, like, one of the kids is going to be bullied. They got mommy's last name. So again, it's just weird. And again, when it comes to siblings, especially if you're close in age, you're gonna have those little tips with each other of, you're the favorite and this is why. And it's gonna be because the kid's name is Davis. I'm just saying. And yeah, so I'm like, I don't understand why the writer thought that was a good idea. Honestly, like, it's one thing again for Sawyer because she's probably going to be an only child. Let's be honest, because who wants to go through what Peyton went through again? But for Brooke, it's a little weird.
Right. And then Lucas, says that he'll wait with Brooke until Angie's out of surgery. And yeah, then Lucas and Payne have like that awkward goodbye.
So how long did the doctor say that the surgery was gonna?
He said that they're gonna stop her heart for 2 hours, I believe. So I don't know, which doesn't seem that very long, but yeah, at least a good 12 to 3 hours, depending on how things go, I guess. Which again
Well,
doesn't seem
because
very long,
again,
but
you have to prep them. So are they going off of just it's been an hour since they've taken her? Because that could mean that the surgery just started.
right.
Because they
Yeah.
gotta clean the area, and there's things that they have to do to prep beforehand. So that's why if you've ever had surgery, they always say come in an hour before so you can get prepped and all this. So it's like they may not even have started the surgery.
And then Peyton walks past the room that Dan was in. So his doctor tells him he's going to be sluggish in the next few months. And just not to push it. And then he mentions that there's some good news. So Dan jokes that he has 7 months instead of 6. The doctor says because of his physical size and blood type, he's number 2 on the donor list. And he has to have that pager with him when he gets one, when there's one available.
I did
have
not
6
like
hours
this
to
at
transplant.
all. Because
that they told him exactly who was number 1.
That violates every right in the book. I mean, are you serious? Yeah. I mean, and then to top it off, Dan is a murderer. It's bad enough that you would tell another patient somebody's name, but then to top it off, you tell a murderer. How do you think it's another patient? I couldn't. I'm like, okay, you don't even tell a random person, like a sane person. You don't even tell them, but you tell him. What? What makes that okay? Let's tell somebody that murdered somebody that you're second to this person. But whatever you do, I know he didn't say it, but whatever you do, don't murder the person.
Weird.
Yeah,
because he already pushed it when he told Dan the Reverend was a good man too.
Yep.
So Dan's like, what's that supposed to mean?
I know that was funny. He's like, well, we can't judge based off of your actions, but I feel like you could. Or is that just me?
No, it would go against
I feel like it shouldn't.
So
well,
that's what they're meant to do, is heal people.
Cynthia, but if there's a sick child or a teenager, right? Shouldn't they be first above somebody who murdered somebody?
Yeah, they should. Yeah, if they're a lot younger, yeah, they would be.
But again, even if it's the Reverend, a really good person, never done anything in his life, yeah, he should outbeat a murderer. They should be on the bottom of the list. I'm sorry, but I don't agree that they really should even be on the list. If you are because I do know that people get convicted and they didn't do it. I know that. But the people that actually did it, they either confess they done it, or there's all the evidence at the point that they done it, right? They, I feel, shouldn't be on any list. They shouldn't get a good person's heart or liver or kidneys. I'm sorry, they just shouldn't be on the list because they took somebody's life already. So I don't feel that they deserve that over a good person. If there's somebody that's in need and they're number 3, and have they committed a crime? No. Should they be able to jump Dan? Yes. Sorry, that's my book.
Well, it's just like in Grey's Anatomy. I don't remember what season, just early on, with George when that Nazi came in, remember? And nobody wanted to treat him, but George did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So you kind of have to put your opinions and should put your beliefs aside as well to do the job.
Okay, but Dan murdered somebody. I'm talking about a murder. Like somebody killed somebody, an innocent person in cold blood. They should not. I'm not saying all prisoners, okay? I'm not saying people who have done minor crimes, okay? I'm not saying those people. I am saying rapists, murderers, those people. I'm not saying everyone else who has committed a crime. I'm not saying that. Because you've done your time. I get it. You were young, stupid, whatever. But I'm sorry. It's common sense not to go and hurt somebody, to take their own life. It is not common sense. Or it is common sense not to do it. Well, because I always hear stories of like, oh, well, they were 17. They shouldn't be tried as an adult. It's common sense. You don't kill somebody. You do it. You know what I mean? Like, I was taught when I was little, you don't harm somebody. Do you know what I mean? Okay, like if you're 17 and you did drugs, do I think you should be tried as an adult? No. But if you murdered somebody, that's common sense.
Right.
Some things in life, yes, you have to wait till your brain is 25 to grow. Like, even when you're younger, your brain should know better of right and wrong. So I'm sorry, but if you're dumb enough to go and do it at a young age, that's not my fault. You should have known better. It's not. It doesn't take for your brain to be fully developed, because again, I always knew that was wrong. So should everybody else.
Right.
And I do feel majority of people know that it's wrong. Even when they're 17 and they've done it, they know that it's wrong. Well, then why did you do it? So that's my point is, no, because there's somebody in our own town that she was murdered, was it like 30 years ago? 30? I don't know. And it had come back up that this person was like 17 or 18. Should they be tried as an adult? And to me, yes. Because they were trying to say, well, he was young. Like he was still, he might have been only 17. Because he was underage, he should not be tried. And I'm like, but you know better when you're that age. You should be tried. And he was tried, but they wanted a new retrial and all this. And I'm like, but I don't feel like he deserves that. You know, like, I'm sorry, but you know better. And so, again, Dan, he knew better. Like, are you serious? And of all people, I feel like Dan Scott knows better. So, yeah, I just don't feel like he should be on the list. I'm just saying. And because he had this condition, right? Okay, I feel like this maybe put a stop to like Dan's violence, maybe. But maybe not. Like if he knew you would not, like you're gonna need a heart someday. If you hurt somebody, you will not be on that transplant list.
Yeah, that's unfortunately not how it goes. That's not how it's set up.
Right.
Yeah.
But that just comes with the cost. If you go and hurt somebody, you should not be on a transplant list. Maybe it would either make you rethink it, or it'll just show that's what you deserve in the end because you hurt somebody, you took somebody's life. Somebody's not breathing because of you. So, and again, we know what's going to happen with the next episode. So it's like the man does not learn his lesson. He thinks he's above every single person. And he's the person that has not learned his lesson. Because he went and attacked Carrie. Even though, yes, she did kidnap somebody. I get that. But like, he had no problems doing it. He had no problems the next step was always about to do. I just don't feel like he deserves. Okay, do you think that if he goes and hurts the Reverend, that he should get the heart?
No, they should be able to find out it was him too, and then send him back to prison.
Do they give? Would he still get the heart or no?
I don't know. He might. I don't know. It really depends.
Now I want to know.
I don't know how that works exactly.
Yeah, if there's anyone
like
out there that knows, let us know. Because I honestly would like to know if he killed the person. That was number one.
Mm-hmm.
And he still went to prison. Could he still get the heart?
Yeah, because my dad couldn't get a kidney, I think, just because he had diabetes. So
okay, see, that's just so your dad couldn't get some, but Dan can. Do you see my point? Somebody who didn't kill somebody doesn't get a transplant, but somebody else who did does. You see the red flags that are going on. This is what
because if he really needed one, then he would have to come from one of the family members. Yeah.
Yep. That's what I mean is, and again, some people don't have family around or a lot of family to like
match with them either.
Yes, match. So or maybe they do match, but let's say they're sicker than you or something where it's like I can't get that from you. So it's that whole thing. So it's really annoying of like, again, good people not getting the transplant they need, but let's give Dan a heart. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, so then at the studio, Haley puts a picture of Nathan and Jamie on top of the piano when Peyton walks in. So, Haley asks how Brooke's doing, and Peyton says she's scared but trying to be brave. And Haley wants to go see her, but Peyton tells her she has, can't go anywhere until she's recorded at least one song. And then that's when Mia walks in and says maybe she's, just didn't like Peyton. And then acts like she didn't know the talk back button was on, like how it was with Lindsay that one time. Which I think might have been a little too soon for Peyton. But then Nathan and Jamie get back home, and Nathan asks Jamie to take care of his water bottle or whatever he was drinking. But Jamie says basically that Nanny Deb will do it, but Nathan tells him that Nanny Deb isn't his maid. And Jamie says she kind of is. So Nathan tries to tell him, he should pick up after himself.
Yeah,
so Jamie's already
being
spoiled
the
here.
nanny and being the maid are two different things.
Yeah. He just assumed because she's probably cleaning up. And
also, I don't think a maid even should do you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm gonna just leave it here, and that's more of like I don't really think it's. I feel like there's even lines for maids. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to be lazy and not throw this in the trash so you can do it.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I just don't even like that as for the maid.
Yeah.
And so my thing is for the scene, it was so heartbreaking because when Jamie finally throws it in the trash, he sees his letter or his card that he wrote to Dan. And my thing is, okay, first of all, it's been how long since she threw it away, last night? You mean to tell me you didn't throw anything away since then?
Right.
Because again, that would have pushed it down a little. Like there would have been things on top of it. But the fact that it was just still just as if it was just lying on top, as if you just put it in there, it's like, that's weird. That's weird. Because again, their house is clean, which means when they had breakfast, that would have went in the trash. So I don't know, it's just a little weird that nothing has been thrown away since then.
Right, because he put the bottle in the recycling and then put wrappers in the trash. So I don't know why they had that scene there. they could, Nathan could just said throw those wrappers away, like if he was eating candy or something.
Yeah.
But,
So
yeah, either way, he had such like a little sad face when he saw it.
Well, who wouldn't? It was heartbreaking, especially because his mother said, "Well, I'll make sure he gets this." And then it's in the trash.
Yeah.
Like, you told him he could do this, right? And then this is what you do. I mean, again, why? Okay, knowing that it was in the trash, right? If you wanted to throw it away so bad, wouldn't you have taken the trash out?
Or hit it better, yeah.
Like, the trash was basically full. She could have very easily have taken out that night, or had Nathan take the trash out that night, so that the bag is not there for him to see.
Right, or that morning even, yeah.
Exactly, like that morning before he wakes up, take the trash out so he doesn't see it. I mean, are you serious? Especially if you're teaching the kid to throw things away, as you should, he would see it.
Yeah.
Again, if you're trying to hide something like this, the first thing you would do is get rid of it, right? That's just what you would do. So he would never see it.
Right. Yeah, so Mia tells Peyton, the studio looks great, and Peyton tells Mia, she's the one that had 100,000 copies sold of her album. And Mia says that's on her and Haley and the creepy label guy from LA that she has some sort of weird sexual tension with.
I don't think so.
Yeah, neither do I. So Peyton was right to say ew. And then, Haley and Mia ask her, does she have any flings from the tour? So they can secretly, they can scold her, but secretly want to know more. And Mia tells Haley she knows it though, in a different place every night. There's nothing there's no time to really date or even be in a relationship. So Payne says she has plenty of time with boys later because she's 18 years old, and then asks if she wants to do the rock, the vote campaign, which is a throwback. And so Payne or Haley says she'll catch up with them later, and she looks at the picture of Nathan and Jamie. And then that's when we finally come in with Deb flashing her boobs to the webcam when Nathan walks in. Traumatized him.
This was hilarious. Oh, but also, okay, here's the thing. I thought it started in season 6. I didn't think it was in season 5 that this happened.
Yeah.
I thought it was season 6. But anyway, so when this happens, it's season 5. Do you remember when Deb came in season 1? She was so conservative, and she, she wasn't showing her boobs. She wasn't
professional looking.
Yes, she was like very high end and exactly. It was and then this Deb, it's she has went a totally different direction since we've met her. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with Dan and then becoming an addict.
Yeah, it's every season it's different. It's just so funny. But I'm this is not the Deb we knew. But also, this is a funny Deb, I will say.
Yeah.
But you have to think too. She's still a person. And she's single.
Yeah.
Okay, if she was married, I'd have an issue. But she's not. I'm sorry. And also here's the thing. You can say, well, she's too old. Well, if somebody wants to look at it, that it don't matter how old you are. If they want to look at it, that who's to judge that? Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna judge the fact that, and she's only in her 40s. I mean, come on now, people.
Right.
But also, again, if somebody wants to look at her, then let them look at her. She's the one encouraging it. So, he was funny. But I will say, she definitely should have locked the door.
Yeah, she said she thought she did, and that Nathan should knock too. But yeah.
But also, I will say, she wasn't really that sneaky with the clown.
Right. But Nathan didn't see any of that.
Yeah, Nathan didn't see it, but Haley did. So.
I don't think Haley told him to save him from that trauma as well.
Okay, but that's the thing is that's stuff you would say. You know what I mean? I can't hide this, and I can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I saw.
Mm-hmm. So, Nathan tells Dad, like, what if Jamie walked in? And, she said that she thought the door was locked and thought he was going for a run. And Nathan says Jamie got tired and admits he was the one that got tired, but that's not the point. So he asks what Deb's doing, and she says she met someone online, and he says who, and she says, someone he doesn't know.
Yeah, and so, of course he's, not happy and everything. And then she was like, I know what you did when you were, younger and stuff. It's like, oh my God. And he's like, just stop. It was
funny. Yeah, trying to embarrass him to drop it, yeah.
It was just so funny. Yeah, again, we're carrying on even in this scene. It's just so funny.
Yeah, and then when Deb asks, Nathan where Jamie is, he says he doesn't know he lost him when she blinded him.
Okay, but again, you lost your kid. You're not even going to search. Okay, my point is, they both now know he's not in the room, right? Wouldn't they both now be like searching for him, especially because he was kidnapped not too long ago? You would think you'd be on high alert to go and search for your kid.
Right.
And my thing is, when Haley picks him up, does she ever call home to say, I have him?
No.
Isn't that so bad?
That we don't see, at least, yeah.
Like, does Deb know and your dad know that you're out here walking by yourself? Like, and then if he would have said like no, then it would have been like, okay, I need to call them because they might be trying to look for you. Like, okay, but wouldn't you be upset if your spouse came home with your child and you've been searching in a panic for them, right? And they come home and you would have said, where have you been? And your spouse would have said, oh, I picked them up and we were, I don't know,
at the park.
For the park. Like, I would have been like, what do you mean you were at the park? I have been looking for hours for you and you're at the park?
Right.
Like, and you knew and you didn't call? Like, I would be so upset, like, because you're panicked every second. And thinking, because again, every second it's worse, because if you really are kidnapped, every second counts. And so, I mean, even if he was hit by a car, like, every second counts.
Yeah. So
I would be in a wreck if my spouse just came home with my kid and we were at the park. Especially because you weren't supposed to be together.
Right.
It wasn't like your mom's going to pick you up. So yeah, I'd be mad.
Yeah, so at least I think Haley should have been the one to find him anyhow because of the whole card situation. That's where he was going to go.
But I just wish there was a little small scene of her just being like, does anybody know you're wandering? And then it could have been a very quick, I gotta call your dad.
Yeah.
Just so we know that she's in communication, so he's not freaking out over his missing child.
Yeah, so Haley realizes that she got caught throwing the note away. Yeah, so she can't be mad that he was wandering off now and tells him to get in the car. Yeah. And then back at the hospital, Brooke tells Lucas that she never even told Angie that she loves her. Lucas tells her, sometimes you don't need words. She knows it. And then Lucas asks Brooke what's going on with her and Owen, which has been a minute. Seems like that's been over, but Brooke says nothing apparently. And then she asks him about Lindsay, and he says, nothing apparently as well. They haven't spoken for over a week, and she hasn't returned her calls. So Brooke, tells them to get out of there. He's got that game tonight, and Lucas says he can stay there no longer. He'll go get them coffee. And then Brooke tells him Lindsay will be in touch, and she wouldn't read too much into it. And then he says he can wait a little longer on that as well. So what did that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was like vague for what that could have meant. Like as if he was gonna move on soon, even though it seems like he wasn't ever gonna.
I know, he's dragging this all season of Lindsay. It's so annoying.
Yeah, so Haley and Jamie are at the park on the merry-go-round talking about, why Haley threw the note away without telling Jamie about anything. She, saying that she was trying to protect him. And he might not understand, but Dan's a bad person. And Jamie sweetly says, he just wanted his grandpa to know that he still had a friend, and everyone should have a friend. And then they talk about the clouds and everything, and Jamie tells Haley that she shouldn't lie to him. And she says she knows. Yeah.
That was cute because he goes, "You shouldn't lie to me, Mama." It was so cute.
Yeah. She says she's sorry that he's right. She promised to try to explain things better from now on. And they tell each other that they love each other. Yeah, so I liked Haley how she actually owned up to what she did, keeping that from him and actually saying sorry and not like putting the blame on him for anything,
Well, it was just already annoying the fact, like, she's gonna have to say something to him because he saw it. He's hurt by it. Like, you got to make up for it.
Right, I know.
And the only way to do it is apologize.
It's just a lot of parents wouldn't actually do that. They would just kind of be like they're in the right, so they don't have anything to apologize about. So.
Oh no, I would still feel like I'm in the right. It's just sorry I threw that away. Okay, but this next scene, it was nice because doctor comes out, tells Brooke that surgery is over, and Brooke can finally somewhat relax.
Yeah, because it's all fine. Yeah. And then that's when Lucas comes back, but with no coffee. I noticed that. And he hugs Brooke because Angie's gonna be okay. And Brooke tells the doctor thank you. And then Mia's recording her Rock the Vote commercial, and giving that message about people using their voice and everything. And then Peyton says, speaking of tour buses, because she mentioned about the first tour bus she was on, she had basically another gig for a concert series, a Starburst Thursday night concert series, like a summer tour at Six Flags,
which would be fun.
Yeah, so Mia says yes to that, and then Millicent calls Peyton. It's about Haley, which you'd think that she would have called Brooke, but she knows that Brooke's with Angie, so that's probably why. But yeah.
This was hilarious because she comes over to the top of the roof and close her brows, and she's Peyton's like, I get a weird phone call from Millie, and thinking that she's about to do something. And then Haley was telling her that she lied to Jamie and everything, and that she like kind of confesses that she doesn't really think that she has time or anything to do an album, and which again is going to put you back at the same part you were in before this whole thing with Nanny Carey of like, you don't have time. If you're working all day, do you really have extra time to do an album? Maybe on the weekend, but not every day after work because you are supposed to be with your son.
Right.
So I could see like, on the weekend maybe, but not during the week.
Right.
Unless you have like a day off or something. But I could see that being more realistic. But I was glad that she finally confessed her feelings because she didn't exactly do it the first time around. And I liked how Peyton said, well, this time around, we're going to do it together. And I'm like,
yeah. But about Millicent and the whole jumping off the roof thing, I feel like Millicent would be smart enough to know that if you do go out over the ledge at the cap or close her bros, the most to do is break some limbs. Like you won't actually die. So I don't know. That was weird. That was Millicent's first thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that wouldn't do anything. So
okay, but it would be like, oh my God, somebody's ready to jump even off a building. Like if you're not a professional jumper, I'm just saying, like, like in the movies, it's like, I'm sorry, but I would think somebody needs some talking to, like to work some things out if they're wanting to jump. I'm just saying, like, jump off anything. Like especially if they're not like athletic and like, people that just love to like skydive and like, what do we need to talk about first, like to get you through this? Because it's just not normal. Like, I'm sorry, you wanting to jump off a building is just not normal. So yeah, I would also be in fear too of like, why does this person want to? Because again, you're doing it to what, like you said, you may not die, but you're going to hurt yourself. So again, putting yourself in harm's way means that there's probably something wrong if you're okay to hurt yourself.
Maybe, I don't know, just if you thought about it, there'd be no point in going over it, but yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that even if you're doing it to hurt, remember when Julian later on, when he's trying to start fights so that he can feel the pain, it's like he was trying to work through something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. Of like a regular person is not just going to do that. Like you, there's something else going on. And so even if you don't think you're going to die, you just want to feel the pain. Remember, Julian just wants to feel the pain. Like it could be that easy.
Maybe, yeah. And then Haley tells Peyton that when her and Lucas were kids, they threw water balloons at people to make them feel better.
Yeah, this was funny because obviously they see Dan walking, and Haley's like, "No, we're too old, blah blah blah. Shouldn't be doing this." And Peyton's like, "I'm not." Like, and she throws a balloon over, and then it was funny because Haley's like, "He has a bad heart."
Yeah.
Like he could have a heart attack, and she's like, "You didn't tell me that." It was funny.
Yeah.
But also, you know what I thought was hilarious was when Dan looks up, because he obviously sees who it is. It's just funny because it's like that's his daughter-in-law, and it's gonna be his his future daughter-in-law. I was like, it's just so funny. It's like those are his daughter-in-laws up there. It's not like it's Haley and somebody else. It's gonna be his other daughter-in-law.
Yeah. And then Mouth walks over to see his boss at work, and his boss brings up about the Ravens playing, and Quinn feels his wrist being broken, so how if they're actually going to do well. And his boss tells him to grab a camera because he's going to get the story. And so he basically tells him not to let them down. And then we go to the game, and the other coach tries to mess with Lucas, asking if he's really going to play a kid with one hand. And the team makes a basket, and Lucas is trying to call out the move. Mouth is recording with his camera. So he doesn't even get a cameraman. He's just doing this completely by himself, which I thought wasn't very fair, but
well, and then Dan walks in.
Yeah, for some reason.
And then Haley gets there, sees him. Then he wanders away. Like, what did he think was going to happen at this game?
Yeah.
Like, he's around all these people. What is he trying to get out of this game?
Right.
Another scene? I just thought this whole game was terrible because the coach of the other team is trying to injure Q. And okay. Well, there's that story of what is it? I don't know what grade it is, but it's a story of it was a football game. The one kid pounced on the other kid. Like, he already tackled him, right? And then he gets up and he throws himself back on top of this kid, injures him. Like, he's basically, I think, paralyzed. Why? You already tackled him.
Right.
Why did you have to throw yourself on him? And, of course, the parents are like, oh, he shouldn't be in trouble. And it's like, what do you mean he shouldn't be in trouble? He should be in trouble. Like, he hurt another kid. And this isn't even college or and it's disgusting. The parents, I feel, are responsible because somehow this child feels that they should be doing this. And obviously the coach, and so here the coach is encouraging the player to harm somebody else to not be able to play, but not even to play. He is going to ruin Q for the rest of his life if he injures his hand worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is somebody's livelihood that we're talking about. Like, this goes, like, just like that football game, it goes beyond this game. It is now somebody's life that is in danger. And I feel that the other coach should be arrested. I'm sorry. The player is responsible, and so is the coach for allowing this to happen. The same as that football game, I feel, because this goes beyond the game. Like, it's one thing to obviously want to tackle, or, oh, you need more defense on this person. Like, okay, but to go in and actually tell this player, go and hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
You are now responsible. And then if you are if you're that player that's like, okay, I know how to do it, you're also responsible for harming someone else. It's not an accident.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that they both should have been thrown out. The coach should have been fired. The player should be thrown off the team and never play again.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion, because you are not just going to play a game, you are going to hurt him,
Right,
for the rest of his life, to never play again.
Mm-hmm.
That is sick to me.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm sorry, you're kind of messed up in the head if you really feel that this game is that important to hurt another person. Something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no game that is worth that.
Right.
There's nothing, even the Super Bowl, there is nothing worth hurting somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel that it is, you should be off the team.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel that. And because again, all that proves is you are in fear of that person beating you in the game. That's all that it proves, is your insecurities. So your insecurities should not harm somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, clearly they're like, oh, well, we got to take out Q because he is the star of the game. Well, okay, well, what does that prove? That proves you are not the best, and it proves, well, you got some work to do. So get off the team.
Right.
That's all that it proves. It doesn't prove anything of Q. It just proves he's the best. If you're worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, remember, he is only one-handed.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's proving that he's still the best with one hand.
Right.
And so that's what was irritating to me, is like watching this game and, just like knowing that in real games, things like this happen, like that are real and that you can't come back from.
Right.
You can say it was all in the game, but there's somebody else's life is changed for the worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Friday Night Lights. It happens. Somebody's life is changed forever, and there's no taking it back.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't agree. Like, when Lucas is getting upset, he deserves to get upset, because are you kidding me? He's going to harm another player.
Right. Yeah, and then Lucas is in his office when Lindsay calls, and he cautiously answers because he's not sure if she's actually calling for real, because, he's never called before. And then they talk a little bit, and then he says he misses her so much, and then he says, oh, to where we cut to him yelling at the team during the second half, just yelling at everybody. And, Skills tries to say something to Lucas, but Lucas just still stresses and calls for a timeout. So he says, they have 3 minutes left. They're up by 9 points, and just to finish the game. And then Q says Ravens on 3, but Lucas says no. Bear Creek sucks, and Skills looks over at Nathan, and they all chant Bear Creek sucks. Yeah, so that's funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, so they, like you said, they're just messing with Q, trying to mess things up with him, just so they can win. And then
and too, the other thing too is if they don't fire this coach and this player, any team that knows what happened at this game, like Q getting hurt, do you really think another team is going to put their players at risk of something happening if they play against this other team? Like, they would probably band together and be like, we don't want to play this team because they went and did it on purpose to injure someone. Like, we don't want our players to get hurt. Like,
right.
So it's like, oh, so basically all this team is for is to go after any player that's better than them. Like, again, no team is going to want to play that if all you're doing is picking the best players and saying that we're going to harm them. So that's also what it shows, is if you continue to keep these people there, it's only going to affect the future of the sport and the teams they play.
Yeah, so Lucas is really mad, and the ref threatens to kick him off the court. And Ronnie seconds this happening, so that's when Lucas starts roughing Ronnie up, and Nathan tells Jamie to stay where he is. He's the one to go pull Lucas off of somebody this time. And Haley even stands up in the bleachers, and then both teams end up fighting each other.
Okay. It takes you back to when the Ravens would always fight, because Nathan and Lucas would be, trying to fight somebody, even if it was themselves.
Yeah, each other, yeah. So later, Nathan asks Lucas, what was that about? And Lucas says, Ronnie tried to purposely hurt Q. And Nathan says he knows, but he grabbed Ronnie. And Lucas kicks a locker door, saying, he should have knocked him out. And Nathan says, this is just bad for Lucas,
Yeah.
And then that's when Lucas says, seeing Lindsay said that she was seeing somebody else.
Well, it's also bad for Lucas because it's not, like, I get that he's trying to protect Q and he's also upset, but, like, he went after an underage. Like, you can't physically grab you can't physically grab anybody, but it's one thing if he would have done it to the coach, I feel like, because it's man to man, but like when it's an underage player, you can't exactly grab them. I mean, again, shouldn't be grabbing anybody, but it would have been better looking if he would have just grabbed the coach. I'm just saying.
Yep, that's something Dan would do to another player.
Dan did it to Nathan.
Right, yeah.
So,
I mean, even like another team, he could do that too.
Didn't he? Oh, he threatened. He did the hand to Damien.
Yeah.
And that was like already a probably hard handshake of like, I could break your hand right now.
Yeah. Yes, Lucas says, Lindsay was supposed to come back to him, and Nathan says he knows he doesn't want to hear it. But what if she doesn't? Like, what if she's not going to? We can't do it forever.
Like, move on. Here's the thing. It's like Nathan didn't really move on, first of all, in his own relationship. When Haley, remember, was left and came back, like he was trying to focus on basketball, but he didn't move on.
Right.
And secondly, I thought it was just funny of how these two have switched places, because remember, Lucas was always there as like the sounding voice to him and don't fight. And now it is funny that it's on Nathan.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Nathan, I don't swear he doesn't fight anymore.
Yeah, so Lucas just still holding to Lindsay and just said she was supposed to come back, and walks out. And that's when Miles comes out from under, around the corner with his camera, and him and Nathan look at each other.
Yep.
And then Brooke is with Angie in recovery when Lucas walks in. And Brooke actually won the game, but Lucas says he doesn't know and doesn't clarify, and asks how Angie is.
Just avoids it.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I would too.
Yeah, of course, Brooke says she's doing fine and appreciates him coming by, but she's the only one there after hours. It's supposed to be there. And Lucas says that's okay. Lindsay called, but again, he doesn't really go on from that. So she just thinks that's like a good thing.
So she's in the ICU, right? I'm sorry, but Lucas would not have been allowed in there because, the nurses would have stopped him. The staff would have stopped him before, because they always say especially if somebody's already in there, they don't allow like more really than one person. So they're definitely, especially if she's the only one in there, they're not going to allow anyone else to. So they're, especially because she's a baby, they're going to watch over her. I feel like more than maybe some like, you know, an adult maybe. So yeah, I was like, somebody would have stopped him.
Yeah, so Brooke asks, what does he mean that he doesn't know if he won or not? And he says he didn't know if the team won, but he lost. And at the label, Mia asks if she's allowed to ask what's going on with Peyton and Lucas, or is it like saying Voldemort? And Peyton says there's not much to say. It's not the easiest thing in the world to talk about, for him to talk about. And then Mia says getting him drunk would work. And Peyton tells her says the 18-year-old. And apparently Mia says like guys tell the truth when they're wasted. And Peyton,
says the 18-year-old. It says the 18-year-old. It was hilarious.
Yeah. And that's when we actually do see Lucas drinking at Trick, and his phone rings, but he doesn't answer it.
Yep, getting wasted.
Yep, and that was Haley, and at the school that they're still there. Jamie asks Haley, why was Uncle Lucas so mad? The Ravens won the game, and she says she doesn't know because he won't call her back. And then that's when I see Dan down the hall.
So then Haley tells Jamie to go give it to him.
Yep, and he does, and hugs him. And Dan tells Jamie he's his best friend and says thank you. And then Haley tells Jamie to go see his dad, and Dan tells Haley thank you, but she tells Dan that wasn't for him.
It was for Jamie.
Yep, as it should be. And then at the station, Mouth's boss asks if he got that footage of Lucas grabbing the kid.
Yep, he says no.
And you have to protect Lucas, yep.
But didn't he take like a big, like, hesitation?
Yeah, he did. He thought about it.
It wasn't like you asking it a bit like, no, sorry. It was like let me think. Should I use it? Because then it would have been like, well, what's the hesitation?
It was just his whole job that he was thinking about.
No, I'm saying like if your boss asked, did you get this? And you would have said no. But if you're hesitating, they're gonna go, you must have gotten it because you're hesitating. Do you know what I mean? Like the fact that his boss didn't come back and say, why did it take you so long to say no?
Yeah. So basically his boss says to another person that he, Mouth wasn't ready for this.
Yep.
And then back at the label, Peyton asks Mia if she's sure she doesn't want her to stay. And Mia says, she wants to surprise her with a new song. And then, Peyton just says that she had a really big day today with the tour and the Rock the Vote. So, she's proud of her. And, Mia thanks Peyton for her life, basically. And Payne tells her songs were always great. She was always great. She just pointed to people towards that greatness. And then Peyton walks into Trick with Lucas passed out at the bar by now. She helps him out of Trick. And then later, Haley shows up at the label, stands at the piano, her picture of Nathan and Jamie's still there. And that's when Mia walks in,
So this was nice because Haley is still kind of debating it, and Mia's like, I'm jealous of you, and Haley says she's jealous of Mia, and because they kind of want each other's life. Like Haley doesn't really like necessarily want her life, but she wants
the career part,
and she just wants to do it the right way, and. But I thought, Mia's talk was really good. And it's true. I mean, yeah, but I was happy that they talked because obviously Haley needed to vent to somebody. And yeah, she did to Peyton, but Peyton can only say so much because she's not in that lifestyle.
Yeah, a performer.
So the only one that could is Mia.
Yeah. And then Deb shows up for her date at Trick and was told to look for a rose. And she does.
And she does, and then it's Skills, but it was funny because she's Antoine. And he's loving it.
And that was funny how Skills' username was No Booker T.
Yeah.
And then their smiles drop when they see each other.
Well,
and then it was no, and he's like, oh yeah.
Well, then she goes, yeah, nothing can happen. And then they're just really going after it.
Yeah.
And then what was it like? One of them said, "Oh, just one night or something."
Yeah, that was
Yeah, one night turns into more.
yeah, he said that. Yeah, and the next morning.
Because like, think about it. Even if it's one night, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna continue to see this person. It's your son's friend, and it's your friend's mom. So you're gonna continue to see each other. So even if they're always gonna have this awkwardness, even if it was a one night stand.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not exactly getting out of each other's lives.
Right. And then in the studio, Mia records her cover up Hallelujah. I can't ever say that. You know the song. And then Q's walking with Nathan and Jamie. And Q asks Nathan if he's going to be back with Lucas. And he says, already is. And then Mia's still singing. Martha's watching his tape of the fight with Lucas and Ronnie. But then he takes it out of the player and destroys it.
And then Nathan comes home with Haley and Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
I love when Haley and Jamie have that little bond where they like rub their noses.
Mm-hmm.
So cute.
Mm-hmm. And Nathan walks in. They have that cute little moment, all three of them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Haley, like, acknowledge how lucky she is, like Mia told her.
Yeah. And like, this is the way it's supposed to be, as in like, no Nanny Carrie. Like, this is the way it's supposed to be, just the three of them.
Yeah. And then Brooke is still at the hospital with Angie, and the doctor shows up and tells Brooke she should get some sleep. But Brooke says she wants to be there when Angie opens her eyes. And the doctor tells Brooke that the great feeling like this is, why he became a surgeon, to give people their lives back.
And then he tells her his name's Ethan.
Yeah. And that when Angie, grows up, she'll help Brooke to think.
Which I don't really know about that.
I mean, yeah, theoretically, they would have just matched Angie with somebody else. Eventually, somebody else would have took her. But yeah.
But when you grow up, you're gonna be wanting to think the surgeon.
Yeah, because
like ultimately, it would not have happened if the surgeon didn't do it.
Yeah, that's why Brooke mentioned about him too. Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, like when you think about it, you're not going to sit there and be like,
at least the first thought. Yeah.
Right. Your first thought is going to be the surgeon. It's never. It's not really going to be like, well, yeah, like Brooke may come up, but it's not going to be like, what was her name and all of this. I'll be like, okay. I mean, I don't know about that. So when he said that, I was like, I don't know if she's going to grow up and think, I'm so happy. Like my whole life is because of Brooke.
Right.
No, because if the surgery would have went bad, it wouldn't. But it's going to be Brooke's fault. Like, again, it would have been the surgeon.
Yeah, I think it would have been the surgeon's fault too if it went wrong.
Well, that's what I mean. Either way, it's the surgeon. Like, if it would have went bad, well, then the family is going to blame the surgeon. If it went well, then she has the surgeon to thank. I mean, either way, it's going to be the surgeon.
Right.
I would know. You would know. It's like people that have went through surgery, they think the surgeon.
And then we see Dan visiting the Reverend. So the doctor was right. He is in bad shape. And then that's when the nurse walks in, telling Dan it's after hours. Is he a relative? And
okay. This is weird. Like why would he be in there? Like,
there's no security in this hospital apparently.
Like, get him out, especially because he is clearly very sick. He probably shouldn't really have any visitors. Like, and honestly, he's in the hospital. Like, he's probably been there for a little while. They know who his relatives and family are, like his family and friends. They know who they are because I'm sure they come a lot, right?
Right.
So the staff gets used to family and friends, whoever is visiting. So when a stranger is visiting and it's after hours, it would be very weird and suspicious. Because normally if somebody's coming to visit and they would come when the family is there. They don't come after hours. So I would feel, especially they're in the same hospital, right?
Right.
They should know Dan needs a heart. So they would know this. So they would know not to let this man in there.
Right.
Because they should know who he is. Also, he was the mayor of this town.
Yeah.
Who committed murder. He was everywhere, I'm sure. Do these people not read anything?
Right. Or like they all just showed up in the last few years after everything.
Because my thing is, it would have been the talk of the town forever. And it's not like Dan moved to another town where you'd have to truly do research.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it. Anyone that shows up would have been like, so did you hear about this, this mayor we had? But I'm sorry, but the gossip would be running through any new person that joins the town.
Right.
It just would. Like, you could never get rid of it. And the fact that Dan surprisingly can is a little odd to me.
Yeah, so of course Dan has to say that the Red Wing is number one on his list, though. And then we go back to Peyton putting Lucas, well, not back, but we go to Peyton putting Lucas into bed. And she tells him she's sorry, she didn't, want this for him. And then she like kisses his head. That's when he wakes up and he says to her that he hates her and he wishes that she never came back. She ruined his life.
Yep, so this scene I hate more than anything because, are you kidding me, Lucas? You again wrote another book of Peyton, and you're going to say how you hate her and you wish she never came back.
Yeah, because
that's the only reason why you got a book.
Yeah, and that was Payne's decision. He can't just like keep her out of Tree Hill. Like, he doesn't have power to to do that.
Yeah, if you want her not to come home, then you need to move.
And like he was the one that helped her with her record label, anyways. So he had to do that.
Exactly. So basically, if you didn't want her to come back, maybe you should not have given her space for her label, because then she wouldn't have space and she would have to maybe go to a different town.
Yeah, I want to be around him all the time. Yeah.
Exactly. So maybe you should not have helped her, Lucas, if this is how you feel.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, do you know don't they always say that drunk people tell the truth?
Right.
So does that mean Lucas really does hate her?
I don't know.
Because I know, like, everybody else in the friend group, they're like, he doesn't hate you, but it's like, but they do say when you're drunk, you tell the truth. So, because remember, Joey always tell the truth when she was drunk? So, I don't know. It might be. I don't know. Like, obviously, I don't want it to be the truth.
At least in this moment, yeah, he is, yeah.
Yeah, I did not like it, though. I'm like, I don't know. It's just, maybe she should have just left him there.
Yeah. And
but also, that's not who she is. Also, so they hired a new bartender.
Right, yes. He should have been the one to take care of Lucas. Yeah, like call him a taxi or something.
Yep.
Yep, so that was the end of that. And, Payne was heartbroken to hear that.
Yeah, the look on her face, I'm like, ooh. Also, okay, here's my thing. Is okay, the love of your life says this to you. How do you move past that?
I don't know.
How do you move to, I'm going to marry you? There's going to be need to be a lot more action before we get to marry me.
Yeah, that's why it took me a while to even really like Payne and Lucas, because he was always after somebody else for most of the time, and Jake, was only about Payne, so that's why I liked him more with her. But yeah.
But I'm saying from this episode to next episode, there's not much action. Right. If it's me, like if I'm Peyton, I'm gonna need to see action, as in probably at least a month worth of you making up for the I hate you.
Right.
Not one little scene of making up and then let's get married. Sorry, I need more than that. Because again, you say I hate you, but then you say I don't hate you. Well, then which one is it? So I'm gonna need another scene of I don't hate you.
Right.
Again, it's being so irrational, whatever, of his ways of like, I'm gonna say one thing, but then say something else. Like, it's annoying at this point.
Right.
Just say who you love and let's move on.
Yeah.
Because dragging out this whole loving Lindsay is really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
You should have just let her go.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you're gonna let her ruin your life.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the high of the episode, having Jamie be able to give that to Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And also Nathan and Jamie, their scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Their scenes are so cute. And I did find it funny. Nathan and Deb's scene was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I also liked the end when Mouth tears up the tape.
Mm-hmm.
My low was the other coach trying to go after Q.
Cute. Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, like all those scenes you mentioned, plus with Haley coming home and realizing she, lucky to have her family, and because Mia only has her career, and then the worst, too, was the game with the other coach trying to mess up Q. And then rating.
I would rate this 7.5.
Yeah. 8 seems too high for it, so 7.5 too, because nothing really happened as well too much.
Yeah. And then who is your best and worst?
The best was Miles because he basically, chose his friendship with Lucas over his career, and Lucas's reputation as a coach by destroying the tape and saying he didn't get any footage. And then the worst is the other coach. I don't think he had a name, but so he was just trying to mess with the other team and he was pretty good. So.
So for me, the worst, I'm actually gonna go with the ref.
Okay, yeah.
Because
his other theme slide.
Because he picked a side and he didn't throw I mean, if you wanted to throw Lucas out for grabbing him, okay, then throw Lucas out. But you also need to throw out the other coach and the player.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you can't just pick one problem over the other problem.
Right.
Because that's what started the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I also feel like Lucas being that close, I feel like he could have overheard him say, go after him.
Right.
Also, didn't they say they're going after Q? So wouldn't they just take Q out of it? Like if you know they're going after Q, why would you keep him in?
Because I guess he's their best player still, even with one hand.
I know, but if you are afraid they're going to come and hurt him, why keep him in?
I don't know. Just not worth it. I don't know.
So that was my thing. But yeah, I didn't like the ref. Lucas was definitely going to be second. Because I didn't like him this episode.
Right.
Again, the end. I hate you. No. And also she made sure you were safe home. No. So didn't like it. And then the best, I'm gonna go with Mouth because he did the right thing. For all the reasons that you said. Yeah. But don't you think that there is another, like there's maybe another station that got the footage?
Yeah, if Mouse was for getting the Ravens side, it should have been the other team. Someone for the other team.
Yeah, I feel like somebody else probably got the footage.
Yeah, I mean, it's a station that should be getting the story for both teams anyways, like the whole game in general, not just one team, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like there's probably somebody else out there that got the footage. So it's not going to be good for Lucas.
Yeah, it's a good thing smartphones, well, we're in 2008, but it's supposed to be like in 2011, so iPhones are pretty much common at that point, so people could have easily recorded Lucas fighting, but yeah.
Well, also, do you remember when it came out about the whole Lucas was in trouble for the point shaving.
Mm-hmm.
How, like, there was more than one person that had footage of it, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, Whitey looks back on it and he sees who was the little ringleader, which was Nathan, but they obviously had footage of it.
Yeah, camcorder probably.
So again, 4 or 5 years later, they're going to have better footage and more people that have footage of it. So they're going to have somebody else that has footage of Lucas, not just Mel. So I will say it's great that he destroyed it, but there's going to be other people that do.
But that doesn't come up though, right?
I don't think it comes up, which is weird because you would think that he would be in like legal trouble for it.
I mean, yeah, there were witnesses of him being there and taking that footage, so someone could easily said something, but yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is even if there's not video of it, there's still every single person in that audience
that saw it, yeah.
In that gym that day that saw it.
Mm-hmm.
So even if, you don't have the video, you still have all those witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still not good.
Yeah, they could have interviewed people, but I guess the station would rather have the footage. So
I think all that comes out is he's like suspended for a number of games instead of like a legal action, which I feel like there would be legal because he did grab a kid.
Yeah,
but again, on Tree Hill or on TV, they just usually get away with it.
Right.
And then what's next episode?
Episode 18, What Comes After the Blues. Obviously, Lucas's Blues.
Yep, and then that is the finale of season 5.
Yep, already up.
Yep, short season.
Yep, because of the strike, so at the time.
Yep. All right. Yep. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.